Fucking hell.
WTF! WTF!
Yes, the exclusive footage keeps on rolling, as this time I have found just how Aleister Black was actually injured just before NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. It's the stuff they don't want you to know that is the best. I am Ross from Cultaholic.com. You're my sexual wank pheasants, and welcome to all of the WTF moments from what was a fantastic episode of WWE Raw. We beat the wrestle twats. Oh well no, and I thought it was just the United States Championship he carried over his shoulder like a bag of big dog crap because he didn't care about it so much. Turns out it's Universal too. I know, he's just trying to be cool, isn't he, like Frank Sinatra throwing his suit jacket over his shoulder, but it just comes off as so phony, so unnatural, just like a human being dressed an actual dog up like a cowboy or something. That makes me sick. Who let Randy Orton out in public? Everybody do not touch his hands. Now I reckon this is the only time we'll see a sign honouring slow wrestling to mark the date, mark the time, mark where you are standing right this second, because when your grandchildren ask what is the most unworthy sign in the history of professional wrestling, that's it there. Maggle, 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 maggle. First of all, you can buy this here t-shirt from cultaholic.com/shop, and second of all, Michael Cole called the last 3 years of Roman Reigns' pursuit for the Universal Championship as emotional torture. So being given chance after chance after chance and being put in more title matches than the rest of the bastard roster combined is emotional torture, according to Michael Cole. Michael Cole, who has clearly had the easiest paper round in the history of bastard paper rounds. Picture, if you will, the person holding that sign there walking down the streets of Brooklyn to get to the Barclays Centre for WWE Raw last night. It's a wonder a white van didn't pull up and snatch him. Or I guess if he took the subway to the arena last night, that sign there is a very good way of keeping the seat next year always empty. Very well thought out, sir. What a hell of a match you've had. What kind of fantasy world does Roman Reigns live in? Let's make it official with a handshake. Do you not even watch wrestling, man? Do you not even know that every single big match has to be signed, sealed, delivered with a big old fancy contract signing? A contract signing that never goes to plan? A contract signing where a table has to be broken for the contract signing to be completed? A contract signing where the contract itself has to be signed stood up before being dropped to the floor like one of those pipe bombs? When's a match ever been signed off like that, you numpty? And here we have Jonathan Coachman speaking about Bobby Lashley and big baldy bastard Baron Corbin. They both move like they're 6'1", 220 pounds apart of 205 live. 6'1", 220 apart of 205 live. 220 apart of 205 live. 220 pounds, 205 pounds live. I give up. And sticking with Coachman during that match between big baldy bastard Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley, he's talked about how we'll definitely see the difference between superstars who performed at SummerSlam and those who didn't. As we all saw at SummerSlam, Lashley didn't have a match and neither did Corbin. Honest to God, if big baldy bastard Baron Corbin is showing any signs of fatigue from his SummerSlam outing alone, he needs to join myself and Marjorie Dawes at Fat Fighters immediately. Honest to God, it's great. We live on diets of dust and fish and chips and gravy. Ho ho ho, gravy. And speaking of Fat Fighters and Marjorie Dawes, look at the results that can be achieved. That man, as we've seen week after week after week over the past few months, has looked like he's had a spanner trap sideways inside of a double chin, and just look at how pretty he is now. Eee. And now it's time for this.
Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank.
Now I've got to be honest, I've got the end of filming this show and I've just remembered I haven't written the wankety wank down, so whatever that says there, that's what we're talking about. So get this, right, not only does the Riott Squad push over bins, but they also draw in your face a magic marker, as Michael Cole explained while Jonathan Coachman was explaining how he spent some time with the Riott Squad. Goodness me, they're out of control, aren't they? Forget about mass brawls, forget about public disruption, forget about burning down buildings. The Riott Squad push over bins and draw middle-aged men's faces with magic markers. They're a complete riot, aren't they? So this week, Sarah Logan started howling like a wolf, which means that she was playing the part of a young girl who was forced to grow up in the mountains, fighting for all of her food. So tune in to WWE Raw next week to see if she plays the part of that again, or the part of the young girl who grew up on her uncle's Titus farm, or the part of a pissing Viking. And the numbers again add up to a victory for the Riott Squad. Michael Cole, what are you talking about? It was a 3-on-3 match. The numbers were exactly the same. What is it with every single WWE superstar graduating from the Scott Steiner School of Crap Mathematics? So is that there like millennials speak, but for the ladies? So you have daddy for men and stepmom for women? Somebody please let me know so we can discuss it at length at every single pissing video we do these days. First of all, Corey Graves did not say that Ronda Rousey won the Raw Women's Championship at her first opportunity. He said that was her first opportunity to appear on WWE Raw as the champion. But oh, here she comes. Here comes Mrs. Lady Balls in what has to be a fitting tribute to Jushin Thunder Liger. No doubt about it though, if you'd asked Lady Balls about her outfit on last night's WWE Raw, she would tell you that Liger pays tribute to her, even though she's wearing that outfit in 2018 and Liger wore that one there way back in the year 2000. She's an arsehole. Why is our pal Alexa Bliss clapping her hands for those Lady Balls? Lady Balls, of course, is the woman who's in charge of WWE Raw, but just sat back and watched as Ronda Rousey swooped in and took Alexa's championship away from her. Even though, for once in a pissing lifetime, Lady Balls actually had a right to swoop in there and do something about Ronda, since Ronda's tried to take her arms on 2 separate occasions. She's always sticking her beak in with Curt Angle's business, isn't she? Hey, I tell you what, man, the one time Lady Balls doesn't stick her beak in there and people get confused and don't know what to do with themselves. Where the hell is Mickie James and where the hell is Nia Jax? Jesus Christ, man, I feel like I haven't seen Nia Jax on WWE Raw since the days of black and white pissing television. Whose cornflakes is she pissed in? As we all know by now, Ronda Rousey was the woman to bring it home for Team Cultaholic in the war against Team Wrestle Twat, which in turn makes her more holy and more sacred than Mother Teresa, the Virgin Mary, and every single member of Baby Metal. And to last night's WWE Raw, and Ronda Rousey was making Lady Balls look weak, which is a huge WTF moment considering it's the 3rd time she's done that since January. It also makes her exempt from all WTF moments, maybe. I really like her collection of goats. She brought home the war for us and she keeps making Lady Balls look weak. I honestly cannot believe that I can besmirch her name again because she's given us so much. And next up we have Scott Dawson hitting a variation of the Rampage, which still has to be considered as gimmick infringement. Now I do hope that Scott asked Paigey Wagey if he could use a variation of her finisher move, because if he didn't, upon watching last night's WWE Raw, there's no doubt about it, Paigey Wagey would have been like, "Scott, give me my move back, you cock!" So the B team came down for a pair of singles matches. Bo Dallas had his. Curtis Axel got in the ring and announced he'd be challenging Dash Wilder, even though he'd already announced he'd be having a singles match anyway. Now I know the B team are supposed to be idiots, but we weren't in on the joke with them this time, so how could Curtis Axel forget something so quick? Again, Alexa, if you were doing that a couple of months ago, you'd still probably be Raw Women's Champion today. After all, big baldy bastard Baron Corbin hasn't won a match since I was in nappies, and he's the interim GM. And no, before you said I wasn't wearing nappies a few weeks ago, I'm a big boy. The point I'm trying to make is though, why is Alexa doing this now when she never did it before? So yes, Curt Angle's been put on vacation by Lady Balls, which isn't too much of a surprise when you look at how rancid he's been over the past year or so. What is a WTF moment though is Angle's response to Lady Balls' man balls over Twitter, which read @TripleHEXSF. Yes, I couldn't agree more myself. Hang on a second now. Roman Reigns says that when your boy Finn Balor loses that Universal Championship match that main evented last night's WWE Raw, your boy Finn Balor has to get to the back of the queue. However, man, WWE, how many chances did the big dog get at Brock Lesnar's championship, man? The big dog doesn't know what a bastard queue is, man. It's this kind of unaware double standard bollocks that makes us fans hate Roman Reigns, man. WWE, just think about it before you write it down on a bit of paper, will you? A throwaway singles match against Corbin, the Demon comes out. A Universal Championship match against Roman Reigns, a match he's been waiting 2 pissing years for, bog standard Finn Balor comes out. That makes as much sense as the fact that a person who plays the piano is called a pianist, but the fact that a person who drives a race car is not called a racist. Made a grave mistake, Corey. Next up we have the fact that Corey Graves claims that Roman Reigns has been chasing the Universal Championship for 3 years, even though the championship itself has only been in existence for about 2. Figure that one out, eh? To the main event we go, and what a bunch of numpties the Shield are. Alright, Seth and Dean came out wearing their lovely uniforms, don't they look so pretty? So after Roman beat Finn and retained his Universal Championship, Braun came down and tried to cash in his Money in the Bank contract. However, before the bell could ring for the match to start, the Shield came out and interrupted proceedings. The referee scarpered, the bell wasn't rung, the match didn't happen. Fisty, Billy. My question is, why didn't the Shield just allow the belt to be rung, then take to the ring, then take out Braun, have the match thrown out for a disqualification, and then walk away with the Universal Championship and throw up the beer signs like the ultimate bunch of lad boys that they claim to be? Oh. Them coming out when they did keep Strowman a threat, keeps the contract alive when they could have just waited and spunked right in the contract's eye. And also, when you've put as much work into making yourself Trapzilla as Dean Ambrose had, why would you cover your traps up? Oh, man, Dean, get them out, you teasing bastard. And that's it for the WTF moments from last night's wonderful episode of WWE Raw. I've been Ross from Cultaholic.com. Thank you very much for being a sexual wank pheasant. Follow me on Twitter at RossandWrestling. If you like what we do here at Cultaholic, it's patreon.com/Cultaholic. Anything you thought to give us would be greatly appreciated, and I will love you forever. But most importantly of all, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow us everywhere on the social medias.